Now, this next problem we're looking at, what we're going to be doing here is basically plugging in some x values to see what y it gives us, and then graphing it. And I will provide a file to help you with the graph, and you'll be graphing this in Excel. Now, let's look. My example problem is x squared minus 3x minus 12. And I've given you some x values here, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, and 2. So all I'm going to be doing is plugging in these x values for x in this equation to see what y would be. Now let's look at this. Let's say if I had negative 3, I would have y is negative 3 squared minus 3 times negative 3 minus 12. I hope I'm not getting out of the screen there, but I would have negative 3 squared is 9. Negative 3 times negative, I get a plus 9 there, and then minus 12. 9 plus 9 is 18, minus 12 is 6. So for y, I have a 6. Now, the next one's negative 2. Let's take a look, see what we would get for negative 2. So I would have y equals negative 2 squared minus 3 times negative 2 minus 12. Negative 2 times negative 2 is a positive 4. Negative 3 times negative 2 is a positive 6. 4 plus 6 is 10, minus 12 is negative 2. So I get a negative number there, negative 2. All right, my next one is 1, negative 1, excuse me. Let's see what y value we get for it. So I have y is equal to negative 1 squared minus 3 times negative 1 minus 12. I get negative 1 squared is positive 1. Negative 3 times negative 1 is a positive 3 minus 12. So I have 1 plus 3 is 4 minus 12 is negative 8. So for 1, I got a negative 8. Okay? Now we've got to plug in a 0. See if I can make this any easier here. So I'm going to get 0 squared minus 3 times 0. My pen's getting a little dead. I'll switch in just a second. Minus 12. So I have 0 minus 0 minus 12. Of course, that's going to give me just a negative 12. Okay? Okay, let's look at what it gives us for 1. Positive 1 now. Y equals 1 squared minus 3 times 1 minus 12. So I get 1 minus 3 minus 12. Oh my goodness gracious, what do I get here? I get 1 minus 3 is negative 14. It looks like this is going to keep going up. Keep going down. Negative 14. Let's see what this one is. I get y equals 2 squared minus 3 times 2 minus 12 equals 4 minus 6 minus 12 would give me a negative 14 again. That's what it looks like. 4 minus is negative 2. Yep. 4. Yep, that's exactly what it is. Now that I have all these, the way, and I can't show you here how to graph this on Excel, but I have ordered pairs. In other words, I have negative 3, positive 6. That'll be 1 point on my graph. Negative 2, negative 2 is another point. Negative 1, negative 8. And I'll take my coordinate system, which in Excel you'll take and graph it. And it's probably going to end up being a parabola. But you will graph all of these points. These are ordered pairs. So those are a point. Each one of those represents a point. And I will give you a little better idea. I'll give you a Excel sheet that you can graph this on that I have an example on. Let's go on to the next problem.